We're here at St Anne's Boxing Club in the town of Westport, Ireland. Inside these walls is where one of Ireland's hottest boxing prospects has crafted his trade. A divisive character who splits opinion. Step inside, Unravelled with Ray Moylette.
I know what I want to be and I know what I want to become.
Ray, let's step back in time a little bit. You grew up in a place called Island 80. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I suppose not too many people heard of Island 80. You know, it's a little village nestled in between two big towns, Westport and Castlebar. But I was an Island 80 man through and through, you know. So I wanted to stay claim to my own village, you know, which is tough too because the population is pretty small. But deep down, I am an Island 80 man. But Castlebar is my town and Westport is my boxing club. So I try and keep all sides happy.
Tell us about boxing. When did you first lace up with gloves? Did you find boxing or did it find you?
Yeah, I think it found me. As far as I've known, I've grown up in the boxing club, you know. My brother Richard started off in the boxing club and I was 6 years old. I used to come over with Richard, my brother, and my father used to drive us over. So I think it was just to get me out of the house more than anything. So I was probably just in the way more than anything and causing trouble. But as the years progressed, so did my training and so did my abilities. So as far as I know, as far as I can remember back, I've been part of this boxing club, St Anne's. You know, it's been great. You know, I loved every minute of it.
Okay, so you're 26.
Yeah.
You say you started when you're 6. 20 years of boxing.
Yeah, it's 20 years of boxing.
What's kept you interested all these years?
The thrill, the unknown. You know, the ups and downs. Like the highs are so high, the lows are very low, and that is something that doesn't come parallel with any other sport really. Because an individual sport, you know, when you win, it's you win. You know, it's not the team that wins. So all the pride comes to you. But when you lose, so does the negatives come just solely to you as well. I know you have coaches, you have trainers, and you have managers and everyone to help you out. But at the end of the day, really, it's you that goes into the middle of the ring. You know, when that bell rings, it's you and the other guy in the ring. And you know, you can't really train for that. That is something that experience brings through. And just, you can't buy really what boxing gives to you. So I could never get away, as in, it was always there itching at me, always wanting to, it's like something inside just trying to get out, you know, and I could unleash that in the boxing ring and nowhere else. Okay.
Boxing for a lot of kids, particularly professional boxing, it's a way out. People grow up in tough situations. They grow up maybe city centres, rough environments. They see boxing as a way to better themselves. You didn't have that. You grew up in the countryside. You could see you had the exact opposite. What led you down this path?
Yeah, like I can relate to exactly where you're coming from. But boxing's a working man's sport. You know, it's like there's sort of a hardened child or a hardened individual that starts and that wants to box. You know, because it is not for everyone. Combat sport. And some people don't even regard it as a sport. Going in trying to take someone else's head off, realistically what you're trying to do, it doesn't happen, but you're trying to hurt somebody in the ring, you know, and it is not for everyone. And when I fight, all my family comes that are around, they all come to support me, you know. It's a family gathering when I fight. So like, some people fight to get away from the household or to get away from where they grew up and all that, but I don't. I fight nearly to encourage that. It means something to everyone. You know, I've talked to my cousin a couple of weeks ago and we were saying we don't spend any time together. He said the only time you see me when I'm fighting and he comes to support me, you know, and that's as good a reason as anything, just to keep fighting going, to keep family together as well.
You come from a full loving family and you've got great support here. When the going gets tough, you know, you have your doubters. People will say, Moylette will only do it while it suits him. Moylette will only go so far because he doesn't have that hunger. What would you say to those people?
Yeah, like that's hard for me to hear, you know, that when it's that direct, you know, and to me, and I know that people would have said that in the past, and maybe I didn't reach my full potential as an amateur boxer because maybe of that. But I'd like to think that I've learned as a human, and I've grown as an athlete, that I think I can step above that. I don't need a safety net. I can perform without a safety net. I believe my ability and my hunger and what I'm looking for will carry me through to what I want to get. You know, we talked about a safety net there, but I think I don't need one. I've massive ability, and I've a massive confidence in my own ability, and I have a structure around me that I think that can't fail.
Okay, let's talk about that ability a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll cast your memory back to you're 18 years old in Mexico, World Junior Final. Talk us through that whole experience.
Yeah, that was unreal, really. Like it's hard to put something like that into words. You know, sometimes when you say that to me now, it doesn't really sink in. But sometimes if I'm at home watching telly, or if I'm driving to training or something, just a small thought comes into my head. I just start smiling, and I feel that euphoria, or I feel that adrenaline that I used to get, or that I did get when I was fighting that time. You know, just little memories kick back and little flashbacks kick in, and it's just like an injection of emotional feelings and productive. And
is that your proudest moment of amateur boxing?
Hard to say my proudest, but one of my biggest successes to date has been that. I have three main proud moments, I suppose you want to speak. There will be winning the World Junior title in Mexico in 2008, winning the Irish Senior title in Dublin in 2010 was a massive moment for me, and because growing up you always want, like, that was part of your dream, you know, to become a senior champion of Ireland, you know, and reaching that was massive for me. And the third one then was winning the European senior title in Ankara in Turkey in 2011. So they're my three proudest moments of through my amateur career.
The decision to turn pro, talk me through it.
Yeah, it wasn't a decision I made lightly, and it took plenty of time. You know, through my whole career, it wasn't really something that I wanted to do. My main goal was go to the Olympic Games. That didn't happen, so I had to reevaluate and see what I wanted to do. After missing out then on the qualifiers in Venezuela, I went to Spain on holidays for 2 weeks. I had a family wedding over there, and then I had a couple of days off, just myself and my partner Sharon, and we talked through things, and in my own head I said I'm going to make a decision when I get back. I landed home on Friday morning. I made the decision to turn pro on Monday morning, just to get, I needed that structure. You know, waking up every morning not knowing what to do was not agreeing with me, and it wasn't healthy for me. You know, I needed a goal and a target to chase every day.
Okay, so your first fight, the 4th of March,
Yeah.
the Connacht Rooms, London. Is the opponent named yet?
The opponent is not named. He should be named in the next couple of hours. It's tricky enough to get an opponent for a pro debut. You know, it's hard to know what to expect. My manager and my trainers don't know what to expect of me to a degree, and they don't know how will I react to the new scene. As I said, I have great confidence in my own ability, so I'm at a stage where it doesn't really bother me who they put up in front of me, you know, because I've boxed the best in the world, and I have been beaten, and I have bet some of the best. So I don't really have a fear of losing, or I don't have a fear of that. I just want to do myself justice. You know, I'm boxing now 20 years, as you said. I've had over 300 fights, and it would be a shame for me to start my career or to end my career without doing myself justice on either end.
Okay, finally, when it's all said and done, how would Ray Moylette like to be remembered?
Yeah, I didn't really think that far ahead. You know, people always tell me to have a 1-year plan, 2-year plan. I know what I want to be, and I know what I want to become. I know how to do it, but whether it will happen or whether it will not will solely depend on me and my ability and my commitment. When this is all over, I would love to say that Ray Moylette was a great amateur boxer. He missed out on the Olympic Games, but he stepped up to the pro game. He became a world champion, and everything else after that was forgotten. You know, because at the moment I'm nearly wasted talent. I didn't reach my full potential as an amateur, and that's what is perceived about me now. So I think a good pro career, to finish on top of my game, would be the last chapter in the book, you know, and I'd be remembered for that rather than for not reaching my full potential as an amateur. So I think however I finish here now in the pro game will be how I'll be remembered. I would like that to be a world champion and a good person. That's my goal and that's my target, and that's what I hope to strive for.
Ray Moylette, look forward to
Donal, thank you very
look
much.
forward to following your career. Best of luck on the
No worries
4th
at all.
of March.
Thank you very much.